Welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time on this Monday evening. Thanks for jumping in and hanging out with us. Hope your week got off to a great start. We are going to get into the idea that the Tennessee Titans have still many needs to address. The post-draft free agency period is what we have officially entered into. You've seen some players start to get contracts, some wide receivers start to get deals. Earlier today, the safety market is expected to pick up. And so the question becomes, all right, you got the draft class in place. Feel pretty good about the 7 players that you got. You'd like a few more picks in the middle of that, but that's really the only main quibble that I think I've found with Titans fans and how this draft went is that you would have liked to have been able to maneuver a little more. And, that's still very much a question mark. How good or how able Rand Carthon will be as far as that stuff goes. He'll have other drafts to try and improve upon that and continue to add value to his roster. Certainly that will become more and more important as bigger contracts around the quarterback situation get handed out and skill players. What are you going to do with DeAndre Hopkins next year? All of that kind of stuff is going to be interesting. So in the interim, what else do you need to add to this roster that's available to be added in the post-draft free agency? And where still are the most glaring holes? We're going to talk about that. We will also get to the best position group, the position group that you're most confident in, the talent that exists there on the roster after the draft. And Bert will jump on here, do a little in case you missed it. He hasn't done it in a while, so we'll see if he's brought something good to the table. I'm betting against him. Before we get started, we need you guys to share this show around on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch, wherever you are spending your time with us. Please share this show. If you're on Facebook, you can share now to public. That's in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. YouTube, you can like the video. You can subscribe to the channel. I see DeVarte Turner. I see James McGillicuddy. I don't know if that's your real name, but if it is, I love it. If you're hanging out wherever you're hanging out, like the video and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Let's go ahead and dive in. Welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time from the Zen Sports Studios. I'm your host, Buck Rising. I'm proud, as always, to be presented to you by the fine folks at Zen Sports. Download the app, plug in the promo code ATOZTN, and get up to $1,000 on your no-danger first wager. Zen Sports has you covered with the promo code ATOZTN. Betting just got better. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer, is at Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet. Quality American-made Ford vehicles there for you. TwoRiversFord.com for more information. And TrueMap Fitness in the Gulch, the best place for you to accomplish your fitness goals and for you to get your first workout free. As a Middle Tennessee resident, TrueMapFitness.com for more information. Thank you guys for jumping in with us tonight. We have a lot of different ways that I think we're going to talk about this roster, and in particular, just kind of taking a look at the construction of it. How many players they've added in total. Officially 7, though they have continued to accumulate players in the undrafted rookie free agency. They haven't officially announced those yet, so we won't dive into those guys at this particular time. We'll just take the roster for the free agents, for the guys that were under contract, and for the new draft picks that have been added. So as you look at the way that the Titans roster is broken down, you have several different positions that have been fortified. You still have clear and obvious needs. And so the place that I want to start with you guys on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and on Twitch is this. What is the most glaring need for the Titans post-draft? That's your Two Rivers Ford take tonight, because an offensive lineman and a wide receiver, you added those two in the draft. You added 2 off-ball linebackers in Williams and Gray. You added a corner in Jarvis Brownlee Jr. You have a nose tackle in Tavondre Sweat. And then in the 7th round, the final pick for the Titans in this year's draft, Jalen Harrell, 252, was the overall pick. The edge rush out of Michigan is what your additions in the last couple of days have looked like. Now, you add that to a roster that's not completely filled up. You heard from Rand Carthon talking about the idea that they did get starters. And in fact, Rand Carthon speaking on Saturday in the post-draft press conference about the idea that they found guys that they feel like can contribute or at least compete to contribute right away.
Feel really good about the draft class and what these guys are going to be able to come in and do. I think we have some guys that are come in and compete to start, and I think we have some guys that are come in and compete for spots and make us a team with some depth. And know there's still some holes to fill, and we're going to get to it. Left some open roster spots instead of filling it up with just all college free agents. We want to be able to have some flexibility to sign some vets and not have to just cut people. But looking forward to it.
So that's Rand Carthon, and sitting next to him is Assistant General Manager Anthony Robinson. Your Two Rivers Ford take. What is the position group that still needs the most help in the post-draft free agency? We'll talk about it together right after I remind you that the Two Rivers Ford take is presented by the South's most trusted Ford dealer. That's Two Rivers Ford. Quality American-made Ford vehicles and award-winning customer service. Two Rivers always goes above and beyond to put you in the driver's seat. Nobody is going to take care of you and make the car buying process as fast, as easy, or as fun as Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. TwoRiversFord.com for more information. So you look at the players that they added. You look at the players that they had in free agency. So just to recap, right, you have Kenneth Murray, off-ball linebacker, Cheeto Awuzie, and L'Jarius Sneed, who was acquired not by free agency but via trade. So you've got two pieces in the secondary there. You have then Tony Pollard, the running back, Calvin Ridley, signed to the 4-year, $92 million deal, and Lloyd Cushenberry, the center, who all come in as other additions. Guys like Keandre Coburn, the former Texas defensive tackle, who obviously is familiar with T'Vondre Sweat. That is going to make a difference here to continue to add bodies, to continue to add bottom of the roster churn, and to continue to try and create an environment in which Sweat will succeed if you surround him with familiar pieces and players that are going to continue to motivate him to achieve his goals of both, physical fitness as a 366 plus pound player and somebody who, I don't know that there's outright maturity questions about him, but certainly there's some questionable decision making here in the recent weeks with the DWI arrest right before the NFL draft. Not ideal. Where do you look at, though, and say that this is the position group that still needs the most help? Because you could argue the offensive line still needs the most help. I think there's a case to be made for it because Latham is going to start at left tackle. Latham is probably going to end up being a left tackle. I'm not really worried about it right now. I'm looking at him and saying Bill Callahan's going to get him right. As long as he's healthy, he's going to be the left tackle. Of course, the health is the thing that you cannot assume. You hope that everybody stays healthy throughout the course of a season. You understand that it's unrealistic and that somebody's going to miss time due to injury. You just hope it's not, especially a bunch of your young players that you need to contribute right away. And Latham is going to have to contribute right away. But the question is he the left tackle definitively? And the answer to that right now, I know it's only April 29th. I haven't even practiced yet. But definitively, is he the left tackle? Well, no, because we're not sure if he is definitively going to end up at left tackle, which is something that we talked to Brian Callahan and Rand Carthon about Thursday night after they drafted him. And I was not crazy about this answer. I completely understand their logic. I'm not pushing back against their logic at all. I just think that the way that they answered it was kind of casual. And this is not a situation that can be treated very casually. This is the Titans head coach on Thursday night.
He sees himself as a left tackle. I mean, they all do. But he felt like that's the way that it happened at Alabama. They were trying to get their best five, and he was comfortable moving and playing on the right side. He was a left tackle in high school. So that part of it, he almost expected it, which is the attitude you want guys to have. I think he possesses the requisite traits to do it, and there's not going to be too many guys that are going to turn down a chance to play on the left side either if they all think they can do it. So I think he's fully capable of it. It's all the same traits. It's just a matter of now you're just switching the stance and you're kicking a different way. That's really the crux of it. It's how comfortable can you be switching your stance and moving in a different direction versus one that you've repped quite a bit over time. So it'll be a comfort thing for him more than anything else, and for us. But he presents all the traits that you want in a tackle, and right or left. He's got the traits to do either one, and that part of it I think is exciting. I think he feels the same way, which it's always good when a guy wants to prove they can do the thing that you're asking.
So that is Brian Callahan speaking with the media on Thursday night after they drafted J.C. Latham to play left tackle. Excuse me. Quick drink of water. A to Z Sports Prime Time is presented by the great folks at Zen Sports. Download the app, plug in the promo code ATOZTN, and get up to $1,000 on your no danger first wager. Promo code ATOZTN unlocks all kinds of great offers, all great kinds of odd boosts and promotional values. And there's always great promotional value, always great value for your dollar in the Zen Sports app. Just use that promo code. Terms and conditions do apply. Must be 21 plus in the state of Tennessee to bet. Also, if you have a gambling problem, call the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789, zensports.com, promo code ATOZTN. High-level traits, J.C. Latham's got them. Certainly, he is as impressive as a pass protector as he is a run blocker. And by the way, for those of you who are hand-wringing about the idea of moving one guy to a position that he hasn't played before, Joe Alt's about to play right tackle in Los Angeles. That's something that people have been looking at and saying, okay, I mean, I don't hear as much complaining about the idea of taking a player that hasn't played a position before and moving him over because they're high level enough of athletes. Joe Alt is a very, very good left tackle prospect. J.C. Latham is a very, very good right tackle prospect. And both of them are going to be asked to play the opposite side from the side that they came up playing. Now, I think that they're both capable of it, and they have the physical traits, the tools, the athleticism to do both at a high level. We'll find out which ends up being the better of the two. I have reason to believe that they're both going to succeed for Los Angeles and for Tennessee. But of course, the development part of it is really important. Where did Callahan talk? Says Patrick Bird. What do you mean, where did he talk? He talked at a press conference. That was Thursday night. He talked at the press conference Thursday night with us, talked at a press conference Friday night with us, did not talk Saturday. That was with Robinson, the assistant general manager, and Ran. Callahan was not at the Saturday wrap-up press conference after day 3. So I think that there is a lot of this stuff that is going to be just something that's talked about all training camp long, right? I just want a resolution at it, and you're not going to get a right away resolution. I prefer to microwave the results when possible, but this is going to be a bit of a slow burn, and I don't think it's going to be that big of a slow burn because they're going to start him out at the position right away. So for all the Titans fans who are not thrilled about the idea of it or just generally don't want to have to think about it anymore and are going to spend an entire summer thinking about it because the whole time is, how's he doing at left tackle? Has he locked down the left tackle spot? Is he going to be your starting left tackle? When are you going to move him over to right? Is he a guard? All that kind of shit that you've been through year in and year out. You get tired of it. That's kind of where the Titans are at with this. And, not everything will be provided to you as cleanly as you would like it to be. That's just the relationship, the nature of the beast. Royal Wright says, was Callahan on with Blaine and Mickey today? Is that right, Bert? Do you know that? I thought he was on with 3HL. I'm not sure. But I was not able to, I didn't get a chance to hear that. Okay, he was on with 3HL, not Blaine and Mickey. I saw somebody say Blaine and Mickey in the chat. So if Callahan was on with 3HL, I'll have to go check out that interview later. By the way, looking forward to seeing a lot of you guys on Friday night at the install. It's going to be a great time. I saw somebody in the radio show comments today say they're flying in from Wisconsin for the live show. That's sick. I hope that you're making a bigger trip out of it than just flying in for the live show. But we've got listeners all over the place, and we're looking forward to meeting and greeting you guys on Friday with Rand Carthon when we do the podcast. It's going to be a great time. All right, so best position group after the draft. What do you feel the best about with the Tennessee Titans right now? We'll discuss at length together right after I remind you that the Primetime program is made possible by TrueMath Fitness in the Gulch. Go to TrueMathFitness.com for your first workout free. As a Middle Tennessee resident, TrueMav is the best place where no workout is ever recycled or repeated. They have group fitness classes. They have personal training. They have an awesome gym to facilitate you to work out as you please if you have one of their membership options. TrueMathFitness.com for that first workout free. All right. So now that the draft is concluded, we talked about the position groups that need the most help. By the way, I would make a case for edge. If it's not offensive line, to me, it's the edge group. Harold needs better running mates than Arden Key, and he's not going to get them this year. We'll see what they're able to acquire in free agency. There's always going to be some veteran old head mercenary types. The 1-year deals for a Justin Houston. Not that Justin Houston is viable at this point in his career, but like there's always those kind of guys, like Suggs at the end of his career, Freeney at the end of his career. Those guys. Calais Campbell is out there as well. You could continue to add beef in the middle of your defense, and Calais Campbell was pretty productive, honestly, last year for Atlanta. I think most people would be surprised by the numbers, by the output that they had. But as you look at the various groups, the linebackers just generally, both off-ball and on-ball, edge and off-ball linebackers, that's probably the biggest collective question mark, because Arden is probably best used as a situational pass rusher. Rashad Weaver, the sample size is big enough where I'm content to find somebody to push him for a roster spot this year. I don't think that he's any kind of a lock, certainly, to make it. The rest of it is you're looking at projects, UDFA guys like a Caleb Murphy, who's still got a roster spot. And then you have the edge rusher from Michigan, Harrell, who was drafted in the 7th round this year. You need better edge guys. Your off-ball linebackers are not proven by any stretch of the imagination either. Brian Cromer says safety. Thoughts? Yeah, safety, I'm not really worried about it. But right now, the roster, it's not a great group, right? They don't have they didn't draft James Williams to play safety. He's going to be a linebacker here in Tennessee. So there's so many safeties out there on the open market. I'm not really worried about it. But right now, there's none on the roster. None of those guys are on the roster signed to a contract yet. So you would be reasonable to question the depth of the safety group right now, because I don't want to see Elijah Mullen start. I don't think. We'll see. Maybe under a different coaching staff, he's able to take his game to the next level. Maybe he'll continue to be available. But right now, I think that is as big a question mark as anything. Mr. Jones says, bring back Will Compton, year 10. Well, no, I don't think so. I don't think I need to see Will play football anymore. I think Will's a better podcaster than he is a football player at this point in his career, and that's just fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So I still think he hits a mean pass set, though, in special teams. I've seen him do it. I know he's staying sharp. He continues to work his craft. So with that being said, I think when you look around at the roster, there's a couple of different places that you could point. And one of them would be the secondary, but not the safeties, the corners. I really like the Jarvis Brownlee pick in the 5th round. I think that gives the Titans one of the best cornerback groups in football right now, with Snead, with Awuzie, with Roger McCreary, and now with Jarvis Brownlee projected to be the 4th corner in any theoretical rotation or depth chart. He was on a Zoom call with us on Saturday afternoon. He was funny. He was pacing back and forth on the Zoom call with us in his mother's room that he was at his house watching the draft. It was pretty funny. And the kid seems pretty inspired to try and make the best out of a situation where he didn't think he should have still been on the board in the 5th round.
I'm hyped, I'm anxious, kind of upset. But for me, I think I'm just ready to go. It's a dream come true. It's a blessing. But for me, man, I think I'm just so anxious to show the world what Jarvis Brownlee can do. Like I said earlier to folks that have asked me, I always felt like I was doubted, even to this day. So for me, it's just another step ahead for me of just proving the world what Jarvis Brownlee can do. Like I told you before, I do feel like I'm one of the top corners in this draft, and for me, and that's just for me to show the world, and I'm just ready to do that.
So you talk about being upset. That's where you're upset is you felt like maybe you should have gone sooner.
Yes, sir. No doubt. I don't block a lot of guys because I'm happy for some of those guys, but for me, I feel like I should have went earlier. Feel like a lot of guys that did go before me, they ain't put in the work that I did, or they ain't go through the process I had to go through it. But God works in mysterious ways, man. So I'm just ready to get to work and play well what Jarvis Brownlee is made of.
So that's Jarvis Brownlee Jr., the new Titans corner picked out of the 5th round in Louisville. He is coming in to fortify this depth. I would like to see guys like Trey Avery pushed further down the depth chart. That is what this is going to do. Exactly. Somebody asked, let's see, where did I see that? About him potentially playing safety. That wasn't discussed with Rand Carthon or Brian Callahan, but I don't know. I mean, they might try him depending on what their situation is. I don't know that that's something that his skill set would necessarily lend itself well to, but certainly you got a great nickel corner if something happens, a great nickel option if something happens to McCreary, because he is best put in the nickel role at this point. Daniel Ferris says, I know we signed Ridley and drafted Jaquan Jackson, but do you think the wide receiver position is a position that Callahan and Carthon are looking at as wait and see what we've got before we move on from guys like Burks? Well, yeah, obviously you've got Burks. You're not like in any great hurry to move on from Burks. He's still under contract and he's still cheap. He's not really, I mean, I don't want to say that he's not burning a hole in your pocket, because he kind of is. He hasn't really done anything in 2 years. But Phillips and Burks are just kind of gravy at this point, and that's a good position to be in because, Jaquan Jackson, if he may work out, he may not. There's Kyle Phillips as an option. You have NWI probably as the primary backup to Ridley and Hopkins out the gate. Burks will have to earn any additional opportunities, but if he can find a way to be some kind of role player, you feel pretty good about that. I don't know that I'm sure they'll sign other wide receivers and come into camp with more numbers just because they'll have 90 roster spots to be able to do that. But I don't think that wide receiver is anything that's like still super pressing at this point. Roy says he is cheap for 3 more years. No, he's not cheap for 3 more years. He's cheap for this year and next year. And then, yeah, you're probably done with the Traylon Burks experience because you're not going to pick up his 5th. I mean, unless something drastic happens, I can't imagine a world in which they pick up his 5th year option. So yeah, you've got 2 years of really cost controlled wide receiver money on Traylon Burks. But to date, that hasn't really helped you. And the 5th year option is not cheap for wide receivers. So you'll probably move on either way. All right, well, let's wrap this thing up with a little in case you missed it. Bert will bring us, speaking of wide receivers, some wide receiver insights and analysis from around the league. God knows he's been scouting these players vigorously in his time behind the scenes. So we'll see what Bert has brought us here in just a second, right after I remind you that the Primetime program is made possible by the official real estate agent of the Nashville Predators. Don't sell without the intel that you get at GaryAshton.com. The official real estate agent of the Preds is the Ashton team. They're the official real estate agent of me as well. I love the help that Gary Ashton and his group got me to make sure that I made the best home buying decision. You can do the same at GaryAshton.com. All right, Bert, what do you got?
What do you got is the question. I feel like everybody keeps asking you how these prospects are, but no one's asking how you are, Buck. How's the mental health? How's everything going for you? Big weekend this weekend for you.
Was a big weekend for me. The mental health was fraying on Saturday when all of us spend that much time in a room together with the Titans media corps. It tends to get testy. It did. Teresa Walker got on people's nerves. Kaharski got on people's nerves. I got on people's nerves. It was just generally, we were all very, very annoyed with each other. And it's out of love. It comes from a place of love. But yes, the mental health was fraying. Sunday was an important day for me to not talk to anybody, not look at anybody, not engage with anybody. And now I'm happy again.
Well, that's good. Now, you guys need to have a mood setter in the room. That's why you got to invite Bert. I would have been in there. I would have had the tunes going. We would have had the snacks.
I'm the mood setter. We had snacks. We had great snacks. Titans hooked us up with the snacks. We had Martin's Barbecue. We had Chick-fil-A. We had 5 Points Pizza. We had all kinds of very unhealthy food that they were trying to bribe us with subliminally to say nice things about the draft picks. Because that's how you work, media people. Just give us free food. That's all it takes.
You didn't have Bert's barbecue beans, though. You guys didn't have the best side you could have had for a draft party.
I'll pass.
Everybody loves Bert's barbecue beans, but another thing everybody else loves, post-draft content. We get so much of it. The calls from the general manager, the videos of their home, how ugly their mom and or sister is. We get to see all of those things. And the most entertaining thing for me this weekend was the wide receivers. Whether it was Roma Dunze not knowing that the best wide receiver in Bears franchise history only had a little over 5,000 receiving yards. Maybe it was Xavier Leggett sounding like a country bumpkin. Everyone's so surprised that someone can be that country and good at football. That would have been me if I wouldn't have chose the radio career. And Keon Coleman, who is already striking it up with Buffalo media.
Huh? Nah, man, you forgot I went to school in Michigan for 2 years? Guess where I got this from, though? I'm saying you got to guess. You're going to be wrong, though, but guess. Nah. Macy's. What you mean? They be on sale on the rack. All the colors. Look, $79, $89. Nice little deal. You can get the trench coat for like $100. Nice little. I'll take you there personally. I might go get some more colors. I need a blue one and another red one. See, I ain't know nothing about Thanksgiving. I get.
With your Thanksgiving sales. Shut up. Let Keon Coleman be personable. The dude just secured a Macy's deal. I love when reporters try to be friends with these guys. They're like, I love the Thanksgiving. He's not looking for deals. He just signed a rookie contract. He doesn't give a damn about a deal.
Oh, no, he does. See, I like him because he clearly does give a damn about a deal, because if you listen to the rest of that clip, he went on to say, no, I shop with my mom. I get my coats in the summertime. We hunt deals around these parts. Is a very Southern thing to hit the Buffalo media with nice little deal. Nice little deal is what he got at Macy's. I don't know. Is Macy's still functional? Are they still viable? Or do they have sponsorship dollars available? I don't know what the state of our department stores is in the year of the Lord or in the year of Amazon 2024.
Are you kidding me? Sears, Macy's, JCPenney's. Who else we got?
Aren't they just all combined into one now? And
the department store is alive and well, Buck. What do you mean?
I think you. This is why I don't trust you for anything economical, because the idea that the department store is alive and well right now is a very, very big misconception.
Okay, someone that is alive and well, Javon Baker, had a fantastic weekend being selected by the New England Patriots. He was the second wide receiver in what was arguably one of the worst wide receiver rooms in the league. But even better than that, his press game conference.
Just come to the home stadium and bring out popcorn. That's all I can tell y'all. Bring your popcorn. I make people in wheelchairs stand up.
I make people in wheelchairs stand up. And then the media member in the background, ooh. He's going to get in trouble for that. He's not going to get in trouble for that. That's the coolest thing anybody said all weekend.
I love that so much. I make people in wheelchairs stand up. Which butthurt media member went, ooh, please?
Somebody who has a family member in a wheelchair. But guarantee you bring them to the New England Patriots games, and there will be a miracle. Javon Baker's going to catch a touchdown.
No, don't guarantee
Javon Baker
that.
going to catch a touchdown, and you go see Uncle Freddie stand up. That boy ain't stood up in 14 years.
Oh, my God. I was so scared you were going to stand up and not have any clothes on. I was so
I just
scared.
didn't have pants on. I have the shirt on, but nothing beneath that.
What are you, Donald Duck?
That's a good way to look at it. Hell yeah. Donald Duck's got pants on, don't he?
No, Donald Duck doesn't wear pants. Famously, Donald Duck does not wear pants. Why would a duck wear pants?
We've been looking at his thingamajig this whole time.
The whole time.
Goofy wears pants.
Goofy wears pants.
Does
Donald
Mickey
does
wear
not
pants?
Yeah, he's got suspenders.
Why do they let? Who else ain't wearing pants on there?
Winnie the Pooh. You're out here Winnie the Pooh in it.
That's way better. That's way better. I always got my hand in a honey pot. Know about that.
All right, that's a visual I could do without. That's in case you missed it. Shadows, please.
Bye.
That's going to do it for us tonight here on the Primetime program. We appreciate. Now I'm thinking about Donald Duck's piece. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us here Sunday through Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. It's the new time for those of us. For those of you who have not realized that we're doing this at 7 p.m. on a regular basis, but it's a much better fit for everybody involved, and we're very happy about it. So we appreciate you guys. Like the video on the way out the door on YouTube. If you want to make sure that Bert keeps his clothes on, like the video. If you don't like the video, then I'll start to question your judgment. And we will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on 104.5 The Zone, when there will just be more Titans draft talk. See you guys.
Go home! Go home! Go home! You're embarrassing Nashville! Go home!